Hi everybody, Armored Pants here, and I have another advanced Blitz gaming guide for you. This one is about never giving up or keeping your gun in the game. But before we get onto that, I would like to read you something. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. The wise man at their end know dark is right, because their words have forked no lightning. They do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men, who caught and sang the sun in flight and learned too late they grieved it on its way, do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Pretty cool, huh? It's one of my favourite poems. It's by Dylan Thomas, a Welsh poet who lived between 1914 and 1953. And you're probably kind of thinking, Armoured, what the fuck has that got to do with Blitz? Well, I'm going to tell you, right? So we're going to have a look at Advanced Blitz Gaming Guide, right? And we're going to do the usual things, although a little bit unusual, right? We're going to try to keep it interactive, etc. But slightly different in that I'm not going to pause it and stop and ask for you to think. I'm just going to explain my thought process as we go along, right? So not as much homework as normal, but hopefully it'll be useful. But what has that poem got to do with Blitz, and in particular the lesson of this video? Well, the poem is actually about, while death is inevitable and we must accept it, we should not take it gently, right? We should not go gently into the night. We should rage, and fight against it, right? So we have to accept it. It is inevitable, but let's not make it too easy for death to come upon us, right? We should fight with every fiber in our beings to enable us to have as long a life and as fruitful a life as possible, right? So it's a beautiful sentiment, a very poignant poem, but it's very, very relevant to Blitz in this respect, right? You should not ever give up on Blitz, because keeping your gun in the game can be the difference between winning and losing. Now we're going to have a look at a game here where I have an absolutely fucking appalling start to this game. Even on reflection, I can't even explain to you what I was doing. It's just awful, right? And I get down to, I think it's 20 something hit points inside the first minute or so of the game, right? I start off okay, I do my spotting, you know, I'm doing my light tank roll. But you know, I make a few mistakes. I didn't get frustrated here with the tank that's in my allies in front of me. He blocks my shots, he won't let me retreat, etc. So probably that maybe led to me making less than ideal decisions. I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, you know, he's not in control of my tank, I am. And I had an appalling start, and you'll see, right, what happens, right? But that's not really the point of this video, right? We all have bad games, we all play disappointingly. Particularly yesterday for me when I was playing this, I think I might have lost about 70% of the games I played, right? So sometimes it's just outside your control, right? And it can be very frustrating. But losing, as we've said before on channel, is as much part of the game as winning. And in actuality, you can learn more lessons from losing than you can from winning. But that's, again, also not the point of today's video. The point of today's video is this. You should never give up. And of course you're going to die, of course you're going to lose games. But you should make it as difficult as fucking possible for the enemy to kill you. If they kill you, it shouldn't be for a lack of effort on your part. They should have to work for it, right? Now, you're going to see the appalling mistakes I make here. I think I get hit by the Smasher, which is over there. I think I then get hit a couple of times with the M41 Bulldog. And you're going to see me go down to, here we go, 23 hit points. Now, in game, and I'm sure if you haven't done it yourself, you've definitely seen other people doing it, right? Even at the start of the game, you see people like doing a chat to the whole game, lost, or my team noobs, my team campers, my team camping at spawn, or, you know, just kill me now, or please kill me. And then they are all say, thank you for killing me. And then they start telling you where their teammates are and asking you to kill them, right? Absolute fucking nonsense and the height of stupidity. Never ever do that. Your teammates may not want you to do, may not do what you want them to do, right? You can have a bad start to the game like I did. Like I'm down to 23 points here, you know, I've blown all of my repair kits, and also my fuel tank is damaged, right? It's appalling start to the game, right? Absolutely appalling, right? Totally awful gameplay on my behalf. But what I decided to do was, I decided to take a step back, take a breath. I hid, reset my camo behind the shed out in the ice, and I decided, okay, let me see what I can do. My gun is still in the game, right? And here's the thing, guys, right? You can do exactly the same amount of damage with 1 hit point as you can do with full hit points, right? It makes no difference to your offensive capabilities. So therefore, keeping your gun in the game can be the difference between winning and losing. Also, the more damage you do, and look, I've got a kill now, the more damage you do, the more kills you do, capturing bases, all of that adds to your XP, which all of that then contributes to your win 8 and your win 7. So even if you don't survive, or even if you lose the game, you have actually contributed towards your overall win 8 and win 7 scores, right? So therefore, you're benefiting yourself. But you can also make the difference between winning and losing a game, right? Now, in this game, we have a base each, right? Now, I go and I capture C now, right? So that puts pressure on the Reds, right? And if I wasn't here, it would be 3v2, not 4v2, right? Plus, you know, they have a very, very good tank left in the object, right? Very difficult and hard to kill. So this game is by no means a foregone conclusion. If you are on the opposite side, if you're a red in this game, what is the lesson? Well, the lesson is take out the fucking tanks with low XP. There is a psychological trigger in the game, and I've done it myself, and I'm pretty sure every player has done it, right? You see a tank like me here on 23 hit points, and you see him disappearing out of sight, and you go, okay, well, he's dead, let's forget about him, right? And we've all done it, right? But this guy can come back to bite you on the ass, because, as I said, he can capture as many bases, he can do as much damage, and he can spot you up at the same, with 23 hit points as I have here, as you can, with full hit points, right? And this is significant. So, lesson for the Reds is, if you see a green tank on 23 hit points like me, or one shot, take him out, right? Take him out. Don't forget about him and say, oh, you know, it's done. Now, okay, I did less than 1,000 damage in this game, but I got a 3rd class mastery badge. But look at this. You look at the XP. I had the 2nd highest XP. So I had a massive contribution to us winning that game. And I cannot say, nor would I say, that we wouldn't have won if I had died or given up. But what I can say is that me being there definitely contributed to us winning, right? Definitely did, right? The XP score states that quite clearly. So, the lesson is keep your gun in the game. Never give up. Never give up. That is, you know, the anathema of what you should be doing in Blitz. Okay, so let's take a time out and have a quick recap on the key lessons of what we just discussed. So, look, never give up, right? I've said it several times, but never do, right? Make it as difficult as possible for the enemy to kill you. Help yourself, help the team. Because you can do the same damage, regardless of how many hit points you have. If you've got 1 hit point, your DPM is exactly the same as if you have full hit points. You can also do other major activities like base capture, spotting, etc., regardless of how many hit points you have, right? So keep doing your job. You have a key job to do in the team. Make sure you do it. Be a good team player. But you'll also help yourself, because you can still have huge influence on the game, as you saw in that game there, right? You've seen many times players will give up. But don't, because not only will you help your team and help your chance of winning, you'll also boost your own stats, your win 8, your win 7. Every positive action you do in the game contributes towards those statistics, right? Contribute towards you becoming a better player. And look, dying and losing is a natural part of the game. You need to accept that. Of course we do, but as Dylan Thomas tells us in that poem, it is natural, it is part of life, it is part of the game. And we should accept it, but we should rage against it. Don't make it easy for the opposition. If they're going to kill us, let them work for it. And while we're still in the game, let the fight, and let's fight the good fight. So, cheers much. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. And I guess now all remains for me to say is, pants off.
That's all, folks.